عباده الذين اصطفى أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم ويستفتونك في النساء قل الله يفتيكم فيهن وما يتلى عليكم في الكتاب في يتامى النساء اللاتي لا تؤتونهن ما كتب لهن وترغبون أن تنكحوهن والمستضعفين من الولدان وأن تقوموا لليتامى بالقسط وما تفعلوا من خير فإن الله كان به عليما وإن امرأة خافت من بعلها نشوزا أو إعراضا فلا جناح عليهما أن يصلحا بينهما صلحا والصلح خير وأحضرت الأنفس الشح وإن تحسنوا وتتقوا فإن الله كان بما تعملون خبيرا صدق الله العظيم وبلغنا رسوله النبي الكريم ونحن على ذلك من الشاهدين والشاكرين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Surah An-Nisa, in the beginning Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had given ahkam after ahkam about taking care of yatama and doing justice to them and rights of women. So these ayat that we are going to do, according to some muhaddiseen, the background of these ayat is that after those ayat in the beginning were given, some Sahaba thought that these are for a specific time or about a certain case. So they came asking the Prophet ﷺ. Some of them actually waited for them to be abrogated or cancelled. And then when they found no command from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, no ayat from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cancelling those ahkamat or telling them that these were only for a specific case, they actually came asking the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam that what about the rights of women and yatama, especially in inheritance, because the culture was not to give them any right in inheritance. So they were thinking that those were about a specific case or for a certain time. So here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that they come asking you about nisa or women. Yastaftunak. From this the word fatwa is also driven. So sometimes we try to ignorantly ridicule this word fatwa. Somebody has given fatwa, or the ulama have given fatwa, or mullah has given fatwa, that kind of thing. This is a word that is found in the Quran, and this is referred to both the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this ayah. وَيَسْتَفْتُونَكَ فِي النِّسَاءِ. This refers to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that they come asking you for fatwa about nisa, about women. قُلِ اللَّهُ يُفْتِيكُمْ فِيهِنْ. It is Allah, tell them Allah gives the fatwa about these women, about them. وَمَا يُتْلَى عَلَيْكُمْ فِي الْكِتَابِ فِي يَتَامَى النِّسَاءِ. So the fatwa is, the answer to their question is that and this is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives you fatwa, and this is also وَمَا يُتْلَى عَلَيْكُمْ فِي الْكِتَابِ. It refers to those ayat of the beginning of the Surah Nisa, that those are also recited upon you. So the same order stays, and this is not a temporary order, but it's a permanent order. وَمَا يُتْلَى عَلَيْكُمْ فِي الْكِتَابِ. Whatever is recited from the book upon you. فِي يَتَامَى النِّسَاءِ اللَّاتِي لَا تُؤْتُونَهُنَّ. So it is about regarding the weak from the children. Regarding orphaned women, yatama nisa, allati la tu'tunahunna ma kutiba lahun. Those that you do not give what is prescribed for them. Wa targhabuna an tankihuhun. And you tend to marry them. So the rulings about women who are orphans are the same as have been given, that they have a right in inheritance, they have a right to mahar if you marry them, and the way of jahiliyyah, the way of the days of ignorance, where if a woman was an orphan, you would marry them and not give them their full right, or you would not. The other thing that happened was that we mentioned that time as well, that they would not even neither marry them nor let them go, because they were after their wealth. So they wanted to keep their wealth in control. So therefore, they will neither marry them or nor let them go and marry someone else. So they would keep control over them. وَالْمُسْتَضْعَفِينَ مِنَ الْوِلْدَانِ. And regarding the weak from children. وَأَن تَقُومُوا لِلْيَتَامَى بِالْقِسْطِ. And that you should maintain justice for the orphans. وَمَا تَفْعَلُوا مِنْ خَيْرٍ فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ كَانَ بِهِ عَلِيمًا. So those orders stay. And especially here it is repeated that whatever you do about yatama, do it justly. Whatever you do, you should maintain justice in your act. وَمَا تَفْعَلُوا مِنْ خَيْرٍ فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ كَانَ بِهِ عَلِيمًا. Whatever good you do, Allah is aware of it. The next three ayat give some rulings about marital life. So those people who are married, there's some rulings given, and these refer to that situation which may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us, but can arise, which is that men and women are married, but they somehow don't like each other. They do not have any raghbat or any attraction with each other. So that can be for any reason. Some reasons are under the control of both men and women. But there are other reasons that are just beyond control of someone. For example, a man is not attracted to their wife because the wife is not attractive, or it's not attracting, she's not attractive for her, attractive for him, or the personalities don't match and they have tried their best. So وَإِنِ امْرَأَةٌ, and then what happens is that the woman may fear that, so back in the day it was very easy and was norm of the culture that men would have multiple wives. So what could have happened is that one particular wife the husband is not attracted to. So then what will they do? Either they will give talaq and there will be a divorce and separation between them, or they will keep them as mu'allaqa. Mu'allaqa is that neither they will fulfill their rights nor show any attraction to them, and just keep them hanging, and nor they will divorce them, just keep them hanging. So both of these things are despised by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَإِنِ امْرَأَةٌ خَافَتْ مِنْ بَعْلِهَا نُشُوزًا أَوْ إِعْرَاضًا فَلَا جُنَاحَ عَلَيْهِمَا أَنْ يُصْلِحَا بَيْنَهُمَا وَالصُّلْحُ خَيْرٌ. If a woman fears, apprehends ill treatment or aversion, so because of lack of attraction or because of lack of coming close, either if a woman fears that their husband is not going to take care of their basic rights, which is to provide them shelter, to provide them food and clothing, those kind of things, and to provide their due right in spending the night with them. Nushuzan or i'radan. So i'raz is this, nushuzan is bad behavior, ill treatment. Fala junaha alayhima, so then there is no harm, there is no sin on both of them, an yusliha baynahuma sulha, that they enter an agreement, they make a compromise between them. What sort of a compromise that may be? That the woman may say, fine, do not divorce me, do not break this relationship. These certain rights that you are not able to fulfill or you don't want to fulfill, I give up those rights. I give up those rights, but let me stay in your nikah. So there is charm therein for both the man and wife, because since since always it has been that a woman does not like talaq. It is not generally favorable in the culture. That even in that time was the same thing, that when a woman gets a divorce, it becomes hard for her. Her status in the society somehow decreases because of the culture, not because of religion. So the charm for women is that she gets to stay in the marriage, in nikah. And the charm for man is that he does not have to fulfill all the rights. So when they enter into an agreement, he may let her stay in the nikah, his nikah. So he basically is not having to fulfill those rights if they mutually agree upon this. And he just has a wife. He just has a wife. So if there comes a time when there is attraction that redevelops between them, they do not have to go through any extra steps, and they are still wife and husband. وَالصُّلْحُ خَيْرٌ, and compromise is always better. Compromise is always better. So ulama have written that this is a general ruling. This has come under the discussion of some kind of a rift or situation that almost everybody faces at some point in their life, but the ruling is general. So in any matter, if two Muslims are fighting or they are arguing about something and they can agree and make a compromise between them, all sorts of compromises are permissible. If somebody has, for example, Hazrat Mufti Sahib has written in the explanation that if somebody owes somebody 1,000 rupees, right, and they make a compromise that the one who owes the money, and the person who has lent it to them or whatever, they make a compromise mutually, with mutual agreement, that fine, you just give me 500 or give me less than that and I agree to it, then that kind of sulh is also permissible. The only kind of sulh or compromise that is not permissible is which involves haram things. So making halal thing haram or haram thing halal. Those kind of compromises are impermissible. Otherwise, all sorts of compromises, if entered into mutual agreement without compulsion, they are better. وَأُحْضِرَتِ الْأَنفُسُ الشُّحْ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that for every nafs, their greed is before them, their wish, their benefit is before them. So use that and make a compromise. That you see, look for your benefit and make a compromise. وَإِن تُحْسِنُوا, and the best thing to do is that وَإِن تُحْسِنُوا وَتَتَّقُوا, you fear Allah, and out of fear of Allah you do not, so you do good, you do ihsan. In tuhsinu wa tattaqu, you do ihsan. So that in this perspective, it will mean that you do not force your wife, or nobody is forced, or you do not. So a husband is not attracted to their wife, and still out of fear of Allah they fulfill their rights and do not make this kind of an agreement, but fulfill the rights of the woman and keep them as their wife and fulfilling all their rights. So these rights that I mentioned, giving them shelter, giving them mahr if it's due, giving them food to eat, and fulfilling their rights of the night. If you do that, فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ كَانَ بِمَا تَعْمَلُونَ خَبِيرًا, if you do that out of fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and do ihsan, do this kind of ihsan to your wife, or a wife, between the spouses, فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ كَانَ بِمَا تَعْمَلُونَ خَبِيرًا, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is all aware of what you do. So basically Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has commended this and said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows about it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has not mentioned a specific reward. From this the ulama have written that there is a reward unimaginable and inexplicable. That if a man lives with their wife in such a state, or if a spouse keeps up with their wife or man like this, out of fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and out of ihsan, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has prepared a great reward, unimaginable, unthinkable reward that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has not mentioned, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will surprise them with that reward. Okay, the other two also mention some commands about married life. We'll do them tomorrow and complete the ruku tomorrow, inshallah. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, salatu wassalamu ala Sayyidil Mursaleen. Rabbana zalamna anfusana wa illam taghfir lana wa tarhamna lanakunanna minal khasirin. Rabbi ighfir warham wa anta khairur rahimin. Allahumma ij'alna min ahli al-Qur'an alladhi ahluka wa khassatuk. ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا واخطأنا ربنا ولا تحمل علينا إصرا كما حملته على الذين من قبلنا ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا أنت مولانا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين صلى الله تعالى على خير خلقه سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين آمين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين.